everyone, I'm back. So, for those who were able to watch the YouTube link that I posted yesterday, I hope that was helpful. It was just like, I thought I'd just share a filler because I really was, I just needed to take a break and just rest, but I'm feeling better. It's like nothing happened. Parang nagdahilan lang yung katawan ko. But I think it was exhaustion because I was scrubbing all the walls of my son's room. It wasn't that a big space, but I was scrubbing his room over the weekend, and I think I just got exhausted. So yeah, that's the life of a mompreneur for you. You may be doing business, you may be respected in your industry, but at the end of the day, you're a mother, you have to do chores. Thanks for the heart. Who was that? I missed who it was. So we have two people. Hi. Happy Tuesday. Okay, so today I thought I'd talk about one of the, as for me as a virtual assistant, and a lot of virtual assistants do a lot of this, and it's called desktop research. Your client would be looking for people to work with or people who could help them grow their business, whether it's an influencer or someone who could help promote their business, or someone who can offer services. Your client would be asking you to do your research online for that. It could be services that your company needs. For example, your client is writing an ebook and wants to convert that into a proper book. He's looking for a publisher or editorial service, or maybe your client is looking for legal advice on copyright. So that's another thing that you could be asked to research. It could be gifts. For example, if you have an upcoming event and you have speakers, there's a certain budget and a certain objective of that you want to achieve by giving that gift. You want them to feel important. So that's something that you can research. So what do you need to be good in desktop research? First of all, it can be time consuming depending on the nature of what you need to research. With me, I've spent hours before looking for a certain person on LinkedIn and also on Google. The reason for that is because his skill set requirements are so niche, it's so specialized. That's why it took me and two other managers weeks to try to find him. Okay, so it can get that heavy. But sometimes it's easy, like you just have to find a generator. If you work in a physical company, it can be a generator with such as specifications, but you'll have problems finding it if it's an old model. So your chances are better if you just try to look for a used item. So as I always say, make sure you have all the information that you need. Ask the questions. Always keep in mind, if you're the one buying this, what information do you need? Quantity, size, dimensions, volume, all the kinds of measurements that you can think of that can apply to that thing that you're looking for. Make sure that they're in hand so that when you're already sitting down in front of your computer and doing the research, you can already compare. Okay, so this company offers this and this is what I'm looking for. Okay, no go. Next, this company offers this. Okay, match, consider this. And then add that result into your list, into your short list. Okay, get all the information that you need, including the budget if there's a budget. Okay, if there's no budget, just include it in all the information that you will collect, and then later on present to your client for his or her consideration. With me, when I am asked to research something, for example, gather information on pricing, on certain things, sourcing is a common task for me as a virtual executive assistant. I have a spreadsheet that has all of the, it's like a matrix that has all the specifications and then all the details for each of the suppliers. And then when I submit that to my client, it's not just raw information. I add what I think would be, I add my recommendation and a justification or my reason behind my justification. For example, if it's seats, flights, then I would say, okay, these are the best deals for you because it's cheap. At the same time, it's a direct flight, or you have access to the lobby, things like that. So you can add that value to your service by giving them a bit of your thought, like, what do you think about this? It won't hurt to give recommendations, because if you do give suggestions, then that helps you establish your authority. Okay. Bonus, I thought, because I was rearranging my shelves, you'll notice they're barely almost empty. They're mostly full because I'm reorganizing my office. My daughter has grabbed all my books from the shelves, and I thought I'd pick up one book and share with you a book that I like. This is one of them. It's called The Power of Habit, okay, by Charles Duhigg. I really like this because one of my favorite stories from this book is about a man who had dementia, and he couldn't remember his wife, he couldn't remember the name of his wife or his family, but then he knows how to get from his room to the kitchen. Okay, so it's like muscle memory. The point of that is your brain may not what do you call this? The more that you do something, it becomes a habit, and that habit exercises your muscle memory. Okay, so if you want to create good habits, positive habits, for example, number 1, sleep, or eating, or working habits, then you have to exercise it every day. They said it will take, was it 2 weeks of doing, or 6 weeks? Sorry, I forgot. Of doing something every single day, and then it becomes natural. It becomes part of your routine. That it's normal. It's no longer a struggle. If you've ever driven a car before, when you're just starting out, you have to look at the what do you call that? The rear view mirror. You have to look at the side mirror. You have to remember to step on the brakes before you release the handbrake. You know, it's like, okay, tick, 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 tick. You have to do that. You have to be so aware of what you're doing. And then while you're driving, you're so conscious. But then if you do it every day, you'll know. Sometimes you'll feel like, oh, how did I get here? I'm already here. It's because it's so natural for you. You can travel 20 kilometers and not feel it. It's because it's so natural for you, you know, without looking at the handbrake, or you don't have to look which pedal to step on. So it becomes a habit. It's the same thing with how you want to create good habits for yourself. With like for me, I would sleep late at night before. I would not be strict about it, but then I created the habit of sleeping the same time as my daughter, as much as I can. If I have no trainings or I have no discovery calls late at night, I would sleep the same time as my daughter. The latest is 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. Then that means I can wake up at 3 if I have a training, or 5 o'clock in the morning, which means I would have enough time to drink my water in peace, do my meditation, breathing exercises, and stretching exercises in peace before anyone else wakes up. This is such a joyful time for me in the morning. Even if I'm so flustered, like, oh, I have so many things to do, I really have to catch myself, stop myself, and say, okay, hold on a minute, drink your water, so I'll get my water. You have to do your breathing exercise. I do my breathing exercises, okay? And if it's a Monday, I always grab my journal and I do my goals for the week. That really helps me to prioritize. And that's a habit, you know. I don't have to consciously remind myself to do it. It's become a habit for me. Right, so I hope you found that useful. If you're a virtual assistant or any career you're in right now, always read a book. Okay, for me, self-help books are great. I also have autobiographies because I find inspiration from people who succeed. It makes me realize that yes, we're all human. We have the same, you know, number of eyes, ears, nose, mouth, we have one brain, but we can do extraordinary things if we just set our mind to it. So with that, our VA topic for today is about desktop research. It's a widely used task for assistants. So the key really is to get all the information that you need for it. Use Google or Bing. If it's a person, use LinkedIn. If it's an email address, you can use Rocket Mail. I believe that there are other platforms where you can get email addresses and telephone numbers. And for those who are good in lead generation, you can also look into their tutorials if you're trying to find better ways to find people's contact details, right? Because they use tools for that. If you're looking for used items, you look into auction houses or platforms for used items, things like that. And then it also does not hurt to tap into the network, your network and your client's network. Okay? I hope that was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good evening or morning wherever you are in the world. And if you watch this on replay, please let me know. If you know anyone, your friend or your family member who could benefit from our content here in the Facebook group, feel free to enjoy them. And I hope that you have a lovely evening. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.